Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is going to be another SGCW cast from Heart of the Swarm, and this is from Hellokitty's replay pack. He is in fact a very high Grand Master player on Heart of the Swarm at the moment. He does play for Pulse Esports. Very cool little community gaming team. And yeah, he's been playing some very high-level players. Have casted a game against former TSL Pult, as TSL is in fact disbanded. IM's Ragnarok, and I cannot even believe I'm forgetting the last person. Fnatic Harstem. That is correct. So today we're going to see another very high-level game. So, as not to delay too much longer, let's hop right in. In the top right corner of Cloud Kingdom, we do see Hellokitty as our red Protoss player, also known as Hellokitty. And it is in fact a male. I spoke to him on Team Liquid and just wanted to clarify, as the name was quite confusing. It's typically you would assume that it is someone like maybe one of Scarlet's friends playing, but no, in fact he is a pretty strong Korean Protoss. And in the bottom left of Cloud Kingdom, we have Gamaniaslam. So what do we expect to see here out of these two players? Well, I do in fact hope that we get to see quite a few newer units, possibly some Stargate play from Kitty, and maybe even some Swarm Host action. Maybe possibly get to see the cool new Hydras or Mutas with their health regeneration. You never know, though. Wish I did speak Korean at this point, because it would be nice to be able to tell you guys what exactly these guys are talking about here, but I'll focus on English for the moment. Interesting thing to note right away. Kitty, Pylon in the base. Typically you will see Pylon on the low ground, which means Forge Fast Expand, Gateway, Forge, Cybernetics Core, Pylon, Cannon with a little wall off guy, just on hold position. And in fact, we do see a 14 pull, which is very standard from Slam. You'll typically go into a 14 pull. That way it allows you to get any Zerglings out to worry about any sort of Pylon block at the natural, any sort of annoying probe harass like this little guy is doing right here, and even a Pylon block at the third if they do decide to go for the double block. This can also help you out when, if you, say, go hatch first, a lot of times you'll end up in a situation where you get cannon rushed, and, well, that's no good. Probe does go down. And in fact, now we see an expansion coming out of Kitty with the Forge on the high ground. So this has been something that's a little more popular in Korea. I'm still not exactly sure why they do it this way. It makes me kind of nervous, to be honest, from a Protoss's perspective, strictly because, like, look at how open these lanes are. I mean, you can just waltz right into the main if you just have a huge speed Zergling early rush, like we do see some Zerglings coming across right now. Third will be taken, but if you were to just focus on getting up a gas early, denying scouting information for the Protoss player, and flooding Zerglings in, well, this one cannon's not going to do anything. Yes, there's a little bit of surface area right here that you cannot get, but hell, 8 Zerglings will take that out so quick it's not even funny. As we can see, he's still going to get 2 up and in, and that way he can scout around the entire main base. This is very frustrating. He can also deny some mining, as the cannon is not in range to protect said mineral line. Zealot on the way, and he does in fact force some even more lost mining time. Very nice so far out of Slam. I thought this probe was going to go for the infamous Pylon block. You can in fact place a Pylon here, or no, here, then place cannon, and you actually cannot fit through this little nook, which doesn't really make sense. Or you can just even put your probe on hold position here just to make sure nothing can squeeze through. And those cannons become so good. You just have 2 cannons, pylon cannon, and yeah, that means this hatch is down. Twilight Council coming out all the way at the front. This seems very, very risky. It's such high tech. I mean, yes, your forge is important, but your Twilight Council means that you cannot move into any sort of +2. But with this Twilight Council out and about here, it does really make me think, as there are no upgrades coming out, either that we are going to see a Dark Shrine, and this is very bad placement due to the fact that every Zerg player will in fact place an Overlord right there. But who knows, now he's going to have vision of the high ground and more than likely take this Overlord out pretty quickly here. Proxy Pylon Probe out. This poor Overlord, you will be sniped down quite easily from this stalker. And fake chronoing this. Very nice. So now Kitty kind of faking out Slam and saying, hey, maybe I'm going for a 7-gate blink all-in, but in fact, no, as we can see, where are you? Dark Shrine. And for people that don't know, very, very, very easy to tell the difference between a Dark Shrine and a Spire compared to the rest of buildings like, say, a Pylon and a Spore Crawler or a Spine Crawler. If you scroll over them, see how much higher the health bar is than a standard building? It is, in fact, because it is so tall, and with it, the base being so small, it's very, very obvious. Proxy Pylon is found out, and he is going to, in fact, find this as well. Saturation coming down quite nicely. I am quite nervous, though. Layer is just now on the way. DT Shrine is done. And with this layer being another 40 seconds out, plus the Overlord time to switch into Overseers, it's another 17 seconds. I mean, man, these 4 DTs could do quite a lot of damage. We do see that they were morphed right in the face of that one Zergling, but even with this Spore Crawler here, these 4 DTs should be able to literally just one-shot this Spore Crawler instantaneously. We're going to try and follow as much action as possible. Does get cleaned up pretty easy the moment. Spore Crawler is already down there. So these DTs are more than likely just going to harass the crap out of everything. Overseer's coming in, and if he starts targeting down this queen right away, he should be able to get quite a few kills. But in fact is going to go for drones, and as we can see, they just get one-shotted, and that's so sad. Workers killed. These DTs are starting to really pay for themselves, that's for sure. 10 kills already. Not crazy good, but he does in fact also get some scouting information based off of the fact that he does spot the Spire and targets it. He also knows that the Infestation Pit is up. Blink on the way now, as well as +2 weapons. Third coming down, as well as the fourth for Slam. So it does look like we're going to be headed into a fairly good macro game, more than likely going to see a decent amount of late game. And yes, we do in fact get to see a brand new unit, ladies and gentlemen, the Swarm Hosts, with their Enduring Locust upgrade. Does mean that these Locusts will in fact, I believe, 10 seconds? Yes, 10 seconds longer, so they go up to a total of 25 seconds, which is quite a long time. Zerglings coming in here, just trying to poke around, see what's going on. So many sentries, though, it's not going to matter. Force fields out the butt. +1 range coming down, as well as Carapace, and range does in fact affect said Locusts. Speed coming out for the Roaches. Ah, more DTs, he says. Sorry, that was a little Deckard Cain. And if they get in here, they should, yes, in fact, he is going to target the Spore Crawler. And that means that these guys are going to fall extremely quickly. Who's going to lose first? Who's going to lose first? And in fact, the Spore Crawler does go down, so now he can just slowly chop away at a couple Zerglings. Didn't get a terrible amount of kills, but we do see a DT up in the main as well, and he's going to get a couple more drone kills. So really making sure that this Zerg player just doesn't, in fact, have any answer to his lost economy. As we can see, there's so many drones. Not here. There's typically should be 16. He just now goes back up to 16 after having to waste, well, not waste, but spend so much larva. And in fact, 3 zealots do take out this 5th base that was trying to go up as well. Dun dun dun. Here come the swarm hosts, though. +1 flyer attack. He's getting a very large slew of upgrades. Pneumatized carapace as well. In fact, just to double check, I do believe that, oh, they actually buffed the range to the locusts up to 3. That is a big difference from 2. Let me tell you what, that means that they're pretty much melee range. +3 ground weapons coming out, as well as charge. These poor little guys fighting for space. There we go. Now a couple can actually engage. He does need to root these as the observer is there. And huge blink on top of the swarm hosts. And oh no, now they are in fact trapped. And this is not good. This is a ton of supply completely lost for Slam. And I do not like this muta switch, as he does see Archons are out on the field. 3 Archons will eat away at 7 mutas so quickly due to their splash damage and the clumped upness of these mutas. We do see even more DTs, and Zealot's going to force a cancel on this base, and now this is a pretty strong army. We do have +3 attack, and I do believe that these are the only upgrades, in fact, that our Zerg player does have. He's just going to completely circumnavigate the swarm hosts, say, screw you guys, I'm not going to fight the locusts. No need to at all. In fact, they are dead. Now a very aggressive blink. Mass recall, in fact, brought up, as there is a ton of muta damage going down in the main. But as I said with those Archons there, they just do so much damage so quickly. They do, in fact, have a splash radius, and not sure how you would even see that. No, they do extra damage versus biological as well, which means that against Zerglings, against any sort of mutas like that, they just tear them up. Interesting, you can actually hide a unit here and they're not even seeable. Huh. And in fact, this huge pack of mutas is going to be coming up here again. We do see some stalkers being warped in. They are not going to be a big enough answer for this. And in fact, it does look like Slam is not going to have a welcoming party of... And there we go, we do see Blink Stalkers in here now, but there's so many mutas out. And in fact, the main army is just going to be engaging up here. Tons of hallucinated Colossi. Very, very cool. Pretty much probably freaking out Slam at the moment. Like, where did all of these Colossi come? How did you get them so quickly? Huge aggressive blink coming on top of these spine crawlers. Very good play from both players at the moment. And with these 2 cannons along with stalkers, these are going to be negated. But now, all the poor Colossi was focused. And now these mutas are going to be cleaned up more than likely from these Blink Stalkers. Great mass recall. Big swell of Zerglings, though, coming up in here. No force fields available. They are going to get a decent surround, but in fact now, with that whooping of Zealots, these Zerglings are going to die so quickly, it's not even funny. And with the amount of stalkers here, Slam is really picking kind of a bad engagement, I feel. These stalkers are going to be able to clean up these mutas, and now with these DTs as well, he's just going to be able to start cleaning up these swarm hosts so quickly. If he can just get his observer over here or even a cannon down. Oh no, and they unroot, and now these DTs are in fact going to hunt them down. This 5th was killed again by just a couple of zealots. Such good play coming out of Kitty so far. And if you are, in fact, ever seeing Kitty on the ladder, please do note that he does not care what matchup it is. DTs will come out, and he will punish you for not having detection. As we can see, he has been taking out bases, killing workers all over the place. 27, in fact, so far. And if you shut down his DT harass, guess what? Archons still doesn't care. Fourth base coming down for Kitty. Interesting that these show up as red, but the fourth base is in fact going to be cancelled by Slam. No, doesn't get the cancel off. Okay, well that's 400 minerals. That is a fairly large mistake, and now a huge Ling run by coming in here. Not sure that he's going to be able to handle this. This might end up in a crazy base trade scenario. And in fact, it does look like he's just going to aggressively blink forward down here. And I'm going to try and keep an eye on both sets of action, but basically the third is being traded out for the fourth at the moment. This is going to fall. Would like to see him start to move up into the third, and yes, he is going to. And now the Zerglings, great force field wall off here. But the Muta's doing so much damage in the main. The third is, in fact, going to fall. We do see Zergling streaming across the map. He does need to get an answer up for these Mutas some point. And these Stalkers, I do not feel, are going to be enough. And it does look like Slam is going to have to pull back. Oh my gosh, great blink up into the main as well with the Observers. Now he can send this small pack of units over here to kill off these Spine Crawlers before they get done. And this huge amount of Blink Stalkers is going to be too much for these Mutas to be pulled back for. Would like to see him try and morph in Archons, but he just doesn't have the income at the moment. This is going to come down to the wire. A little bit of miscontrol here from Kitty. Units not being properly utilized, but he's killing off absolutely everything in the main, sniping units as they come out. And in fact, with these gateways and 2 DTs, he could still do quite a lot. Would love to see him morph these into an Archon. It would be so clutch. And now all of the workers being killed off for Kitty. This is turned into an extremely crazy, wacky game here, folks. Who is going to come out on top? Usually, Ling Muta is the best answer, but there's so much firepower here from our Protoss player. It does in fact look like he is going to be able to kill this off quite effectively, and as we can see, we did just see a couple of clicks there, so it does look like he's going to be sending these units over here as well, making sure that everything is killed off. Pack of Overlords, okay. And now the Muta's just slowly tearing through this army. There are so many more buildings out here, and in fact we do see a random Nexus coming down with the last of his minerals. It does look like he is going to pull ahead, as in fact I do think that the only structures out, as we can see, are that Nexus, and that is game. Gamaniaslam is defeated in a crazy base trade by Hellokitty from Pulse Esports. Thank you guys for watching. That was a sick game to cast. So much fun. And there will be more replays, in fact, coming out of Hellokitty because he has showed some hella good games. So please stay tuned for more. Check out the channel. It is /SGCWE on YouTube. You can also tweet at me if you love/hate any of the games, have any recommendations. That is @SGCWE. Yeah, just feel free to let me know what you guys think. Would love some feedback. It will help me improve, hopefully. So, yeah, stay tuned, guys. There's going to be more games coming up daily, and more than likely a ton from Hellokitty, as I have enjoyed the crap out of casting his games so far. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.